the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back in trackside once again. Here to the Turn 3 Racing Network, back in action. Playoffs ready to kick off right here tonight from Iowa Speedway, the Red Light Racing Monday Night Scrambler Series, brought to you by Checkered Flag Auto Supply and PremierRacingSetups.com. Back under the lights, short track racing to kick things off. 12 drivers gonna fight for 8 places in these opening 2 weeks. In the season 20 championship rundown, will our defending series champion, Chris Hammett, be able to get there at the end? We're gonna have to see what he can do tonight. He will bring us to the green flag moments ago, capturing that PremierRacingSetup.com pole award. Chris Hammett will lead the field to the green. Couple of newcomers in to the playoff system. Justin Gann making that cutoff, as well as Adam Matz, one of the most consistent drivers in the field. without a race win. 8 top 5s out of 9 weeks of racing action. That's right, Zach Mitchell going to chase after his chances for this season 20 championship, and it's all going to kick off right here tonight from Iowa Speedway in the Spin Cycle 100. So with qualifying already behind us, looks like most of the drivers working their way through pre-race inspection and down to the starting grid. Let's see if we can't jump a little closer to the track as drivers await those final words. Get rolling here tonight from Iowa Speedway. 125 laps around this 0.8 of a mile track. It's going to be a tough little fight for a lot of guys. We'll see how the championship drivers prevail here tonight. But before we kick things off, how you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV Land race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, drivers rolling off of pit road. We are ready to go here tonight from Iowa Speedway. So what do you say we go ahead and bring you your starting lineup for tonight's Spin Cycle 100, starting inside row number 1, snatching away that PremierRacingSetup.com Pole Award, the 6 of Chris Hammond. Zach Mitchell going to start just to his outside. Dangerous second row with Justin Gann and James Skelton. Jeffrey Souza and Tim Combs back in row number 3, inside row number 4 here tonight. Just missing his opportunity to lead the field, just a 10th off here tonight. Max Thier going to run from 7th. Sean Single just to his outside. The 4X Racing driver narrowly missing the opportunity to run for the season 20 championship. Ryan Aldani and Ken Allen going to round out your top 10. Ethan Troutman and Adam Matz back in row 6. Trent Potter and Bill Benedict going to roll off in row number 7 here tonight. Inside row number 8, behind the wheel of that Sweet Tarts number 13 machine, Joshua Buckley. John McMillan Jr. back in the house and behind the wheel here tonight. He'll roll off 16th with Higgins and Allen in row 9. Row number 10 tonight belongs to Feeney and Stout with Fiddler, Strano in Higgins. Finishing out the 23 car field, that's going to do it for your starting lineup. We're ready to roll. Pace car into the restart zone. Away we go. Green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Iowa. And with a good start to tonight's race, jumps quickly out front. 2-car length advantage as Gann and Mitchell battle for that second position. Side by side looks to be for about 6th or 7th right there. I believe that's going to be the 17 of Tim Combs and the 42 of Max Thier. They're going to fight for that 6th and 7th position. Meanwhile, stacking them up just a little bit with that side by side battle for 2nd and 3rd. Mitchell again continuing to hang it out sideways. Sean Single looking for a little bit on the outside in that Cartoon Network Jetsons machine. Sitting in that 8th position. Trent Potter looking for some room as well. The 18. Already up 3 positions from where he qualified. Little nose to the inside. Not going to make the move. Things getting sorted out at the front of the field. There's a bit of a hornet's nest right around that 7th position. There we can go right there. Let's go check this one out. The 4 of Jeffrey Souza right up in the mix as well, running that 6th position. You can see him playing a little bit more of an unconventional higher hybrid line. Not quite in that high lane, not quite on the bottom. Interesting to see if that line's going to pan out and work out for him. Able to keep the momentum up in 3 and 4, take the position away, or keep the position, I should say, from that 17 of Tim Bones. Still a hot and heavy battle right here. 9th, 10th, 11th on the raceway. Sean Single, Ethan Troutman, Trenton Potter, Ryan Aldani mixing it up side by side out of 4. Gonna jump around just a little bit here. Let's see if we can't find you some more action. Rob Higgins making his way up through the field in that Merman Rob, number 40 machine. Kinetics number 49, Stint Analyzer. Having a little bit of trouble here. Running that high line. Looks like the back end of the race car wants to come around just a little bit on him. Handling issues plaguing 49 of Ken Allen. Quickly across the stripe, lap number 9 on the board. Let's drop the timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. You'll still see all of your previous race winners highlighted in that Turn 3 burnt arch, but we're gonna put up a little indicator for you to know who those championship playoff drivers are and who is on the outside looking in. We're gonna get to that next week when we hit the track. Finish off the first round of the playoffs next week under the lights, Darlington Raceway. The track 2 Tough to Tame. We'll see which one of these drivers can get it done next week. More importantly tonight, you gotta have a good race. If you're one of these top 12 drivers, you can't have a bad week. You gotta go Zach Mitchell Racing as we cue in and watch Mitchell heading around the bottom of the racetrack, sitting in that second position. As we mentioned coming into tonight's race, Mitchell, 8 top 10s, 8 top 5s, the most top 5s by double on this championship field. So when it comes to consistency, there is a little bit of royalty out there on the track. The king of it for the moment is Zach Mitchell. We'll see if that strategy can pan out for him. We'll see how far he can take this run into the playoffs. James Skelton, another championship hopeful, right behind him. Top 5, all championship competitors, all championship runners, sprinkled, salt and peppered with race winners and drivers still searching for that first win here in season number 20. But I'd say if you ask any one of these drivers for the chance and the opportunity to raise the championship trophy at the end of the season, would they give up their race wins? And I guarantee you, each and every one of them would say, you can have all the wins you want, I just want the big trophy. Tight little battle raging on just outside of your top 15. Let's take a little look back at this Hornet's Nest. Still mixing things up. Ken Allen, Logan Fiddler, John McMillan Jr., Rob Higgins, Tony Strano. All locked up here, running with each other from about 14th all the way through 20th. You see Joshua Buckley and Ryan Aldani just out in front of the side-by-side battle. Ken Allen and John McMillan Jr. That's going to be the battle for the 15th and 16th position on the racetrack. clicking off these laps very quickly here tonight, just on the cusp of 20 laps into tonight's 125 lap spin cycle 100 right here from Iowa Speedway. These drivers are going to have to start eyeballing, looking at the possibility of green flag pit stops. And if you've never been here at Iowa, a little bit deceiving of a pit road. You start to make your way down onto pit lane, then the pit road kind of bucks off a little bit further to the left. There you can see right there. And you don't want to make the inopportune mistake of thinking the one pit wall is the other. We'll see if anybody has that moment tonight. We'll see if everybody makes their way on and off pit road. I would expect to see them in about another 20 laps making their first rounds of green flag pit stops as the field closes together right here. A little bit of a rough go out of 3 and 4 for the 13 machine. That's going to stack up the 15 of McMillan Jr. behind him. Ken Allen's still right there in the mix with Rob Higgins. A little bit of a gap back to Eric Stout, Luke Allen, Tony Strano, Bill Benedict III, Bob Higgins, Brandon Feeney running tail end of the field here tonight. 38 struggling here at America's Heartland. Back around the track, back for another look. Let's see if we can get another vantage point. And there you can see we mentioned the struggles had of Joshua Buckley and that Sweet Tarts number 13 machine. A little bit of a scrub with the outside wall last time by Adam 2. Gonna slow him down just a little bit, and Buckley gonna fall back to 15th. Not much to talk about at the front of the field. Chris Hammond, your race leader, out to just about a 1 second advantage over James Skelton, who's taken over that second position. Bumped Zach Mitchell back to third. Justin Gann still holding down that fourth position. Max Terriot hot on his trail, closing in. Let's go right here. And caution, flag flies for the first time here tonight. Lap number 25, we're going to see the first caution flag fly. Look like the 62 of Ethan Troutman may have been caught up and involved in this one. Let's go back, let's check the replay. Troutman outside to 3 wide moment there. Looks like the 9 had a little bit of a wiggle up the racetrack into the side of that Ecto Hawk Edition body armor. Number 62 machine, no harm, no foul, no real contact for the 62, just a bit of a ride. So he'll go around, catch up to the rear of the field. Everybody down pit road under our first caution of the night. So we're going to take the opportunity to step away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back with all your live action right here in the Spin Cycle 100. And back, promised after a quick commercial break. Adam Matt's going to roll off of pit road first. Little bit of a strategy play here. Looks like right sides and fuel only for that 9 of Adam Matz. He's going to roll the dice early here tonight from Iowa Speedway. Pick up that top spot. He will bring us to the green flag. Skelton and Mitchell back in row 2 with Gannon Terriot in row 3. For your latest restart, Souza, Combs, Potter, and Single will round out your top 10. So less than 100 laps of racing remaining here tonight from Iowa Speedway. Quickly, the lap counts diminish here at Iowa. Just about a 22 second, 22 to 23, 20, we'll call it 24. We do apologize, had to stop mid-thought right there. A little bit of a sneeze attack coming on, so we don't need that on air. But nonetheless, back to what we were saying. The lap times, 22 to 24 seconds. We've seen the lap times sub 23. Not a lot of fall off so far in the field. About a tenth or so was the fall off over those opening 25 laps. We'll see what the crew chiefs think about that for these longer runs. Big Gamble gonna be a bit of a guinea pig, pretty much to test the subject, and he's gonna let us all we need to know about those 2 tire calls here in just a moment. Adamantz awaits the pace card. And there it goes. Down pit road. We're ready to hit the gas once again. And green flag flies back at Iowa. Green flag back in the air here from Iowa Speedway. Side-by-side battle from Skelton and Hammett. Top 2 from your earlier run here tonight now going to fight over that second and third position, hanging it out on the high side. Let's get a little closer to that battle. Hanging it out on the bottom. Hammett a little loose on corner exit on throttle. He's going to be able to keep the momentum and keep that 86 honest for the moment, but Skelton will prevail and take that second position. Zach Mitchell easily slides into 4th with Max Terriot sitting in 5th. Justin Gann going to fall back to the 6th position, 3 laps or 3 positions from where he started tonight's race. You know, if you are Justin Gann, all you're looking for tonight is just a finish. The Grace and Jade Photography New South Medals. Purple People Leader number 30 Ford has just, it's been a decent season, but he's had that trouble magnet. Somehow, some way, trouble typically seems to find a way into Justin Gann's race. And fortunately enough, talented enough, able to overcome a lot of those issues and problems. We'll see if tonight can be one of the few clean races. We'll see if he can't finish back in a podium position. Been a while since we talked to him. The 8 of Zach Mitchell falling like a rock. Now we've seen him into the outside wall last time around at a turn 4. We'll see if he can keep it straight this time. Yes, he does. Keeps it out of that outside wall, but a lot of wiggle out of the rear of that 8. Little look on board with the 4 of Jeffrey Souza behind the wheel of that Souza Media. Number 4 Machine running in the 6th position. Souza's just kind of been quietly hanging out. Right, he's like the guy in the corner at the party that You know, you just look over and he's always over there. You don't know how he got there. You don't know how long he's been there. But every time you look, he's just right there. Souza quietly making his way into the championship chase. Here in season number 20, we'll see if he can quietly go about business as he has all season long. For the moment, running in the 6th position has Zach Mitchell right behind him. 18 of Trent Potter with the 17 of Tim Combs. Finishing out the front little pack here. We got a battle for race lead side by side. Looking to the inside goes James Skelton. One of the first few weeks we have not seen that Flowertown Animal Hospital sponsorship on board of that Corolla tonight. The Cayman's Boats sponsorship all over that machine. We'll see if Skelton can get up there and grab a lap lead. Adam Matz hanging it to the high side, keeping him honest for the moment, looking 3 wide for your race lead. Chris Hammond looked to the middle, thought better of it, backed out just a little. Gonna follow with the tire tracks of that 86 machine. This is short track racing at its best. Lap 42 gonna go on the board. We're gonna drop the time and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow your favorite driver in the field. And for the first time tonight, leading across the line, just our 3rd different race leader of the night, James Skelton gonna take the top spot away and begin to look to see if he can build a little bit of a gap. Matt's sliding out of 4. Could that 2-tire stop be coming back to haunt him already? We're just about 20 laps after that first round of green flag pit stops. Quickly told you that's just how fast it's going to go down here tonight. Wonder if that 9 machine having a little problem with the handle, the balance of the race car. The 42 of Max Terrill going to go to the bottom of the racetrack easily. Take that 3rd position away. Hungry Hippos lining up behind the 9 of Adam Matz. Out of 4, here comes Justin Gann, Souza, Mitchell, Potter, and Combs. Tight little battle still raging on outside of your top 10, right around that 15th position. Look at this Hornet's Nest out there on the racetrack. Ryan Aldani of the 98 Turbo Dork Racing Graphics Ford Mustang sitting in the 12th position, has Fiedler all over him. Rob Higgins, there's Joshua Buckley, Ethan Troutman. And we haven't talked much about him here tonight. We're going to transition. Let's go up. There it is. Let's give this young man credit where, well, we say young man because he's a rookie. Right? We're not going to call anybody's age out like that, but behind the wheel of that 27. Conquest Auto Parts, sponsored Toyota. Rookie. Running this season. The only rookie to work his way into the postseason. Looking to try to build off of the 4 top 10s that he's already accumulated this season. Looking for another one here tonight to kick things off. And whoa, we got contact. We got contact in trouble. And somehow, nope, the 60 is going to go around. Luke Allen going to get involved in this one and go around. We had trouble back. It looked like it may have started between the 40 and the 13 of Josh Buckley. Let's go back. Let's see. Do we got the drone on that, guys? go back and see if we can't see what's going on. Catching it a little bit late there. That's the aftermath. We're going to go back a little bit further. Let's see if we can't see it. Yeah, already happening in front of a lot of these drivers. Contact between the 40 and the 13. A little bit of a mishap. Everybody going to keep it rolling, get it straight, and we're going to go into caution. For the second time here tonight, almost 20. Well, it did. I mean, lap 49. Pretty much on cue. Pit road. Busy place. Everybody going to come down for fuel and tires. Maybe not 4, but we'll see if anybody's a 2-tire taker once again. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. In backtrack side, as promised, not missing any of the action here tonight. Field making their way out of 2 and down the backstretch. James Skelton will win the race off of pit road. Max Terrion picking up a position, going to move from 3rd to 2nd. Chris Hammond going to fall back to 3rd for this latest restart. Justin Gann, Jeffrey Souza will round out your top 5. So big field here tonight from Iowa Speedway in the Spin Cycle 100. 23 drivers took to the starting grid. We've still got 23 drivers out on track. 23 drivers remaining on the lead lap. Pace car lights are out. Field gets double file. And we're going to get ready to drop the hammer once again. Bring the noise under the lights here from Iowa. You know, besides, just a random thought, and these are the types of things that get me in trouble, but we're going to speak on it anyway. What else is there to do in Iowa besides race? I mean, you can farm and race. I don't know what else they got. I don't know. Sure, we're going to hear about that one a little bit later on in the week, but let me know, because I have no idea. Pace car in, on the gas, green flag flies once again here from Iowa. Skelton going to scoot away. Close battle there between Gann and Hammett. They're going to sort it out. That's going to leave Adam Matz fighting for that 4th position. Hammett's going to keep it for now, looking to the inside. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes the 9. Great center of 3 and 4 for the 9 of Matz. He's going to pull even across the stripe with Hammett drag racing back down into 1. Close back here in the back as well. Let's jump back here. We got problems. Caution, flag flies once again here from Iowa Speedway. Let's see if we've got, it looks like this is going to be a debris caution. Not seeing any problems or any issues out there, so it does indeed look like a possible debris caution. Here on lap number 56, field going to come back to a crawl. Race leader James Skelton leads him behind the pace car. So we got a little bit of time on our hands here, so let's get back to it, right? We're going to head from Iowa Speedway short track racing to one of the crown jewels, one of the queens of the South, as I like to call them. Kind of in the land of NASCAR, where it was all born, where it was raised, babied, and flourished into the beautiful thing that it's become in the sport we love to watch. But Darlington Raceway hosting the cutoff race here in round number 1 next week. These drivers will be back behind the wheel of their familiar truck series machines. But Darlington Raceway, a very unforgiving track. You more than likely are going to find yourself in the outside wall at some point in time. Do you set up the balance of the race car? Do you set it up to be good in 1 and 2? Or do you set it up to be good in 3 and 4? Very, very difficult to get the machine to work on both ends of the racetrack. Here in Iowa, if you're good at Richmond, if you have good runs at Richmond, excuse us, we could expect you to have good, solid runs here at Iowa. Track modeled mainly after Richmond, especially with the corner entries. So if you're able to really roll the center of the corner and hesitate just long enough before putting that power down, it's going to pay dividends heading down the backstretch. And I say that to say it is a much different race number 2 in round 1 than what we have here tonight. Darlington Raceway going to be a much different approach to the night of racing. 100 laps at Darlington Raceway is nothing to bat your eyes about. You're going to have to be on point for a very long time. Lucas Oil Raceway Park in Kansas hosting round number 2. We're going to finish it off under the lights down there, Homestead, Miami. Once again, the heat of the night for championship night. The driver's got to get through this one first. We're just around the corner from the halfway point. We're going to quickly close in the final few laps tonight. It would round 1. Oof. This is a very rough round. These championship drivers have got a lot on their hands. His car ducks back in. Field rolls off of 4 into the restart zone on the gas and green. The flag flies for the 3rd time here tonight from Iowa Speedway. Skelton scoots away with Terriot, Gann, and Hammond. Inside of your top 4, Adam Matz fighting with Souza for the moment for that 5th position. You know what, guys? We haven't been high above the racetrack very long here tonight. Let's go up with the drone cam here tonight, get a little bit of a bird's eye view of how close the racing action here is on lap number 62. Big moment up front for the 42 of Max Terriot, searching, looking, trying to find a way to get around and snatch away the race lead. Chris Hammett with a big slide off of 4. Ooh, big slide off of 4. Chris Hammond gonna have to recover. Championship hopeful. The rear of the field, defending series champion. Gonna have to overcome a little bit of late race adversity. Back across the stripe, James Skelton continues to lead. Max Theriault still fighting, looking for the opportunity to snatch the lead. They're going to try and race down the back stretch. Justin Gann going to parlay his way into a podium position. Gonna, well, I don't want to say become the lucky recipient of a podium position, but with a big, long slide and a little bit of landscaping efforts for Chris Hammond. That opened the door wide open for Gann. Souza and Mats continue to battle for 4th and 5th. Zach Mitchell and Tim Combs right there. Him also one of those drivers that have just been, he's been pretty quiet. I mean, the Dark Knight Rises Diet Mountain Dew sponsor number 17 Chevy. He's been to victory lane one time this season. For some, no, we apologize, has not been to victory lane this season. One top 5 finish. Looking at the wrong statistics, we do apologize there. But solidly, consistently inside of your top 10 week in, week out. Comes with 7 top 10 finishes. One of the highest counts in that category as well. Having a good night here tonight, sitting in the 7th position. You know, a lot of these drivers inside of your top 10 right now doing exactly what they need to, and that's give themselves an opportunity heading into Darlington. Rookie holding on to a top 10. Lap number 69, the 27 car Quest Auto Parts machine of Logan Fiedler begins to make his way into the picture. Great close battles inside of this top 10. Let's see if we can't jump around a little bit here. Let's see what we got as far as action out there on the racetrack. This is going to remain one of your closest battles, so we're going to keep it right here for the time being. Souza, Mitchell, Mats, and Combs continue to fight for positions. Little scrape on the outside wall for that 8 machine. The top 2 started to scoot away from Justin Gann, sitting in 3rd. Side-by-side battle now for, I believe, yes, that's going to be the 4th and 5th position. Zach Mitchell going to concede the spot for the moment. Slot back into 5th right in front of Adam Mats. Things calming down, sorting themselves out just a little bit here at the front of the field. James Skelton, your race leader, out to a 0.3 of a second advantage over second place runner. Mad Max Theriault looking to get back to his winning ways. We haven't seen Theriault in victory lane in quite some time. Let's go back up here. Let's take a little look at this 42. Nothing's changed with him all season long. Week in, week out, you can find him, the familiar man in black, as we like to call him, Mad Max Theriault, sitting right where we could be, right where it could be expected, inside of your top 5. Mitchell and Mats continuing that battle for 5th and 6th. Right battle beginning to develop back here. Let's go. Check out the battle between Tony Strano and Ethan Troutman. The Go-sponsored number 3 machine of Tony Strano up 11 positions. Great run here tonight for Tony Strano, up 11 position from where he qualified. Troutman looking for a little bit more on the bottom of the racetrack, and he's got to turn his night around. He's going to take that 11th position away. Really needs to look for a solid top 10. If you're a championship driver, you're looking at needing to finish inside of your top 10. That's going to kind of be your sweet spot, right? We're only taking 8 drivers into round 2. Well, if you put yourself inside of the top 10, you're giving yourself a lot more of an opportunity to move on. Fortunately enough for all of our playoff drivers here tonight, nobody inside of that top 12. None of your playoff drivers have really had a bad night or a bad race. We've seen one have a big moment. Both Troutman earlier here tonight and Chris Hammett about 10 laps ago, 10-15 laps ago, Chris Hammett was landscaping through the infield on the front stretch. Here he is already recovering inside of your top 15, sitting in 12th, looking for more. Will he go to the bottom in 3? Yes, he will. Hammett going to drop to the bottom, look for a position on Troutman, look to work his way back inside of your top 10. Less than 50 laps to go here tonight in the Spin Cycle 100, brought to you by Pick Flag Auto Supply in Red Light Racing. You're watching the Monday Night Scrambler Series under the lights here tonight. Playoff race number 1 here in season number 20. Things sorting themselves out at the front just a little bit. James Hill now to a half a second advantage over Max Therion, who has just about a 1 second advantage over Justin Gand, who is looking like he's got a little bit of speed built into that thing. Justin Gand looking to step away from 4th place runner Zach Mitchell. And as Chris Hammett and Ethan Troutman mixed it up here, that opened the door wide open for that Cartoon Network sponsored number 11 of Sean Singler work his way up into the mix. He's going to knock on the door. Not going to quite be able to step through it just yet. And you know, we didn't want to do it, Tom, but one of those drivers that was right there. I mean, he was right there in about, I think it ends up being 2 positions is what it came down to for Sean Single on missing the playoffs here in season number 20. Sean was right there at the end, just unable to get the job done. He's going to play for the best of the rest here in season number 20, and that is not a shot at Sean or the rest of the field, but when you're not in the playoffs, that's what you're doing. Anyways, we're going to go back up to the front of the field. Let's get back to the battle here. Let's watch this little bit of a battle unfold. Back behind Justin Gant, who has a 1.2 second advantage. The battle between Zach Mitchell and Trent Potter. Potter able to pick up a handful of positions here, able to work his way around Adam Metz as well as Jeffrey Souza. Potter methodically working his way up through this field. And he's been another one of those championship contenders that we expected to see a lot out of once we hit the championship rounds. Potter to victory lane 3 times so far this season. For Trent, it's kind of... I don't want to say checkers or wreckers. But Trent with 3 wins, only 4 top 5s in total, so 3 out of those 4 times were race wins. Half of the top 10 appearances were race-winning appearances. So it's feast or famine, really. There you go. That's the moniker. That's what we were looking for that 18 of Trent Potter. For the moment, looks like he's got a pretty big appetite. Working his way up through the field, up 9 positions from where he started. Move the 18 into 4th. We've got green flag pit stops underway. Green flag pit stops for the first time here tonight from Iowa Speedway Championship hopeful front runner. The 30 of Justin Gann down to pit road. You're going to easily lose a lap coming to pit road as well. The 4 of Jeffrey Souza to pit road this time by. This is where crew chiefs or the most nervous. Gann for the moment sitting on pit road, working his way off and back up to speed. He's going to lose 1, if not 2 laps. As we got a battle once again for the race lead. James Skelton trying to heat up the rear. 42 of Thier right here closing in. Green flag pit stops ready to roll. Nobody's going to dive in out of your top 2. We got any takers inside of the top 5. Looks like everybody going to stay out there on the racetrack. So able to keep themselves just 1 lap down. Justin Gann, Jeffrey Souza able to get back up to speed, rejoin the race, and keep themselves just 1 lap down. That's going to be highly critical over the course and remainder of this green flag run as the green flag pit stops continue. Tim Combs, Chris Hammond, and Sean Single, your latest drivers, to pit lane. And it's going to put it at about you're looking at about a 30-lap run for Justin Gann on those fresh tires. We're going to see if that's going to be enough, or will the long run pay off for these drivers. Looks like they're headed to pit road. Both your top 2 drivers going to exit the racetrack. Adam Matz will reclaim the top spot. He's going to stay out on the racetrack. John McMillan Jr. Gonna stay at his tire tracks. And that right there, big moment for the 11 of Sean Single. If he had been about a second later, he would have fell a second lap down. Adam Matz not gonna let him off the hook that easy. He's gonna look to the bottom. 11 gonna wind it up at the top of the racetrack in the good years. The fresh tires will prevail and will pay off. Gonna keep himself just 1 lap down for the moment. Adam Matz continues to stay out on the racetrack with Ethan Troutman, Bill Benedict, Rob Higgins yet to hit pit road. Maybe a look to pit road this time by the 9 with a little bit of a wiggle on the bottom side. Yes, indeed, he's going to pull the 9 down pit lane. Ethan Troutman remains out there on the high side. He's going to keep it running for the moment. Now, this time, if you're Ethan Troutman or Bill Benedict, you almost are wanting that caution. We're about 10 laps into this green flag pit cycle. You're losing a little bit of time each and every lap. Justin Gann looking for the undercut, unable to complete it completely, does pick up one position in the timing and scoring, but unable to leapfrog that 86 of James Skelton. Justin Gann gonna reclaim what will eventually become second place. But what happened to Max Theriault? Big problems on the pit stop for Theriault. Stationary in the box for over 15 seconds. That is going to come back to haunt him and bite him here tonight. 42 had a rocket ship. We'll see if Theriault can't bring that Mad Max machine back inside of your top 5. Less than 25 to go, and playing the long game for the moment is the man behind the wheel of that Ecto Hawk Edition body armor, number 62. There you can see James Skelton getting himself back onto the lead lap. And there you go, 62 going to head down to pit road. He's given up on that long run fight. And with less than 25 to go, it's going to be hard for... This is opinion. It's going to be hard for Troutman to rejoin the race and make up a significant amount of positions. He's going to begin to fall through the running order here as your race leader looks to put drivers off of the lead lap. That's going to be Merman Rob, sponsored number 40 of Rob Higgins. There you see the 13 machine of Joshua Buckley, championship hopeful, just making that championship cutoff. But Buckley, the Sweet Tarts machine, has not had a sweet run here tonight. He's going to need a big race at Darlington. Not necessarily a must-win situation. The cards haven't fell here tonight, but with a little bit of struggles early here tonight, Joshua Buckley sitting in the 17th position. First driver listed, one lap down. He is going to have a big uphill battle on his hands next week to try to continue his championship run here in season number 20. We're going to jump back to where the action is at. It is a 3-car battle for second. Justin Gann, Max Theriault, Trent Potter, all 3 drivers all right here with 3 different tire strategies. Checked out front is that 86 machine, so we're not going to talk too much about James Skelton out front at a 3-second interval. The battle has now become for those final 2 podium positions. Justin Gann, Max Theriault fighting with Trent Potter, Jeffrey Souza waiting in the wings, just off in the background, a half a second back. The Souza Media number 4 looking to start this playoff run on the right foot. No pun intended, because your right foot's on the gas. You know what? Never mind. Coming down to just 15 to go. Next time by James Skelton continuing to lead here. Max Theriault able to grab that second position and walk away from this now what has now become the battle for third. The ULA sponsored NASA Beyond Gravity sponsored number 18 Ford Mustang of Trent Potter, still looking to continue those winning ways. Looks like a race win is gone from the picture here tonight, but he will stack up a lot of championship points. Up 9 positions from where he qualified. Not the biggest mover in the race so far here tonight, but up 9 positions, running inside of the top 5. And that is exactly how you look to start your playoff run. Who you got, though? Can Gann finish it off? 13 laps remaining. Can that New South Metals Grayson Jade Photography Purple People Leader number 30 find a way to finish it off? And it looks like our rookie Logan Fiddler may be having a little bit of connection issues. Now you see him, now you don't. Magic Man action out there for the driver, up 10 positions. Your biggest mover of the race here tonight. Championship hopeful sitting outside of your top 10. Fiddler runs in 11th. We're going to keep it right here. One of your biggest, closest battles, most meaningful battles, if you will. It is for a podium position. The 18 and 30 continue to throw haymakers at each other. That's just allowing that 4 of Souza and the 9 of Adam Matz to close that distance more and more. 10 laps to go. Last time by. Let's check in with your defending series champion back inside of the top 10 after landscaping and mowing the yard first. We do appreciate it, but the Hamburger Lounge number 6 with a little bit of trouble here tonight. Still able to walk away for the moment with what should be a fantastic finish, a great turnaround after what could have been catastrophe. Your defending series champion, Chris Hammett, your pole sitter, sits in 9th. Eight laps to go. Gap under 2 seconds. Max Terriot is reeling in your race leader, but with 7 to go across the stripe this time by, I don't think it is going to be enough time for Terriot to get there. He might get there, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything with it when he gets there. It's going to be a 2 or 3 lap battle just to make that pass. Time just isn't there. Well, they say 1 is the loneliest number. James Skelton looking to give that one a little bit of company. And finally, to capture win number 2 this season. We're going to see 5 to go. High 5 for your race leader, for the boss man at the flag stand this time around. The spin cycle 100 is slowly coming to a close. Brent Potter, Justin Gann continue that hard-fought battle, and it looks like Potter may have had a little bit of issue through 1 and 2 last time around, gave up a little bit of ground. We've got 4 to go. Only Josh Buckley and Logan Fendler outside of your top 10 out of your 12 championship drivers. We're going to see popsicle sticks on display. Just 2 to go here from Iowa. Back out front, James Skelton continues to lead 1.5 second advantage over the field. There you can see Max Terriot just off in the distance. Not going to be able to get there Gonna come across the stripe this time by. We're gonna see the white flag fly. It's the one to go. White flag by Feeney Call. All season long, big shout out to Brandon Feeney and everybody over there at the Feeney Call. It's the one to go here as we work our way out of 4 back across the stripe in victory lane. The 86 of James Skelton will walk away with the race win. Max Terrion going to come home second with Justin Gann finishing out your podium drivers here tonight. And again, it's been a long time coming to get back to victory lane, but finally back in victory lane. This 86 of James Skelton doesn't have to worry about Darlington. He can start looking towards round number 2. He's going to enjoy a bit of a post-race celebration smoke show on the front stretch for all the fans in the stands. Sold out packed house once again here at Iowa Speedway to watch the Monday Night Scrambler Series opening round. Season 20's playoff run. We're going to take this opportunity to step away. Don't go anywhere. Race fans will be back with the Shiny Things podcast post-race show. And back trackside once again for the Shiny Things podcast post-race show. We're going to dive right into things here tonight. We're going to see if we can't dial up and have a few words with a good buddy of ours. It's been a while since we've had a chance and an opportunity to talk to him, but able to keep it clean here tonight and start his championship run off the right way behind the wheel of that purple people eater number 30 machine. Justin, man, it's been a minute. How you feeling?
I'm glad to start the chase off with top three, man. So no complaining here.
Well, we're gonna do it to you. Why? Because we go way back, and I know I can poke at you a little bit without rattling the gauge too much. But man, it's been a pretty rough season for you at times. You've had some great runs; they just didn't materialize into great finishes. Uh, Did you ever have those thoughts run through your mind? I mean, as a race car driver, we get kind of superstitious and we get things in our heads. Uh, did you break the curse, so to speak, or did it ever cross your mind like, man, I gotta finish this thing tonight, man?
We had what 2 weeks off, and I came into the chase thinking it's a brand new season. Forget last season. Cause yeah, you're right, man. I felt like I was getting destroyed. I was having good runs, but getting destroyed uh, during the regular season. So I'm just gonna look at the chase as a brand new start and try to keep it as clean as possible. I mean, me and the 18, we ran pretty tight, but we kept it clean. And I know Trent's a really good racer, so kind of know the people that you can run harder than others. And I think I just need to keep that in mind and let people go when I feel like there's a risk there.
Well, Justin, you're here. I don't want to say you have arrived. You've been, as we said, you're running well pretty much every race this season. Just sometimes things happen, is what it is. You gave yourself the opportunity to fight for the championship. You start off on the right foot here tonight under the lights. We're going to be back under the lights behind the wheel of the trucks at Darlington next week. How you feeling about that?
I love Darlington. I always do pretty good there, so looking forward to that. But there's only one race that's going to matter. I just need to make it to the last one.
Well, we'll see if we can't talk at the end of the night in Miami. But until then, my man, you know the drill. Shout outs, thank yous, love yous.
Yep. Everybody over there at Third Wave Esports, Grayson J Photography, New South Metals, Third Wave Media, you, Dave, for putting the broadcast on over there at Turn 3, and everybody that puts this league on over here at Red Light.
All right, my man. Well, again, congratulations with another podium finish. We hope we get to talk to you again before Miami, but at least if you're at Miami with a chance, well, that's all that matters. But until then, Justin, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you hear it. Final few words for the man that walks away third here tonight, Justin Gann, giving his playoff chances a bit of a shot on the arm right off the bat. We're going to roll now into, let's see if we can't pick up a few words with the man that crossed the line in second here tonight. Led a handful of laps behind the wheel of that blacked out number 42. Max, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Not much, man. A heck of a race. You look like you had a little bit something for those race leaders. Walk us through what went on during that last stop. Looked to be a little bit slow.
Yeah, I just slid, maybe lost 3/10, so I didn't lose that much, but in the end, I don't think that made a difference that much. I would have been maybe at most half a second closer, but yeah, it's the 2 tires versus 4 that made all the difference.
Yeah, the 2-tire call seems to be the winning call of the night, but you had a rocket ship out there at one point in time. You worked your way up through the field. So you can't be too down on yourself about that. We're gonna head to a tricky track next week to finish off the first round of the playoffs. How you feeling about Darlington?
Wouldn't be surprised, expecting the same result next week. James really good over there. I know he wins a lot, so yeah, we'll do our best and enough points if we don't win for the next round.
Well, Max, you've had a heck of a regular season. Starting off the playoffs on the right shoe, going the right direction for it, setting yourself up for a pretty relaxed race at Darlington. No need to worry too much, but nonetheless, you still got to stay on your toes. Before we let you go here tonight, though, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, or love yous?
Oh yeah, as always, big shout out and thanks to my fiance, also my friend Max and my dad and my mom also watching on Turn 3 broadcast. Thanks to you, Dave, putting on the show. And congrats against James on the win and Justin third place. And well, yeah, 3 cautions. That's not too bad. We've had we've had good long run to end the race, so that was exciting. So we'll try to keep it up next week at Darlington.
Yeah, the short track that turned out to be not a menace or a chaotic night for a lot of you drivers out there. You were able to work your way up through the field, as we already said, start your playoff run on the right note, and walk away with a podium finish here tonight and back. So we wish you well heading into Darlington. We'll see if we get a chance to talk to you at the end of that one. But until then, my friend, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
All right, same to you, man.
All right, there you go. Final few words for the man that walks away second. A little bit down about the strategy call, but nonetheless walking away with a great points night. And we're now going to head right into victory lane. Let's party it up with the guy behind the wheel for the race winning machine, that 86 of James Skelton. Welcome back to victory lane, man. It's been a minute, but how's it feel to not have to worry about Darlington?
Yeah, Dave, it's a really good feeling. I've had a really up and down season. Darlington's a really good track to me usually, but just punching your ticket just to get into that next round is just a huge bonus. So don't have to worry about it. So just glad to get the win. Don't know if I had the best car. Some good strategy kind of played a factor, but we'll take it any way we can.
So now that you do lock yourself into that second round of the playoffs, do you look at the season as being just a 3-race season now, or do you still focus in on maybe trying to go to Darlington and open up round one with back-to-back victories?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if I could get a win there just to run, 100%. Probably, I won't put any time in, this week. I think what really helped me is 2 weeks ago they had the official races in the ARCA car was actually Iowa. And then last week it was actually Darlington. So I was actually to get some official races in, but it was weird. The going from full fuel to half fuel kind of threw me for a loop. So we'll see how Darlington goes. But definitely I'm gonna start putting my time in at Lucas Oil just to try to get a jump on that round.
Well, man, the your competition better be on their toes. You never want to give a driver like you any type of head start or advantage. They're going to have to work their way through it now, but nonetheless, man, heck of a performance here. You grabbed the race lead and you never looked back. You were able to keep it through the long green flag pit cycle that we had under the green flag conditions. Walk away with a great win and move on from here, man. One hell of a job so far this season. So before we let you go and celebrate, shout outs, thank yous, love yous.
Yeah, I think I got a few of them tonight, so hopefully I don't forget any of them. So I got to give a shout out to my long-term teammate Richard Murdoch with his just his work schedule. He already gave me a shout out. Really wish he was out there. Got to give a shout out to Trent. I've been working with him really since Richard's been out. Trent, if you would have qualified better, I think he would probably been the car to beat when we practiced. His right front was always 3 to 4% better than me every single time. Got to give a shout out to two of my good hockey buddies. Had Nick and Brandon watching tonight. That's who I had on my paint scheme. I had Burns Alley. That's the team I played for in my over 35 season last year. Got to give a shout out to you, Dave, for everything you do. My wife for letting me do this. I usually always support her business, Flowertown Animal Hospital. All the drivers. I guess I got to give a shout out to the number 6, Hammett. My first year back in fantasy football after 5 years, and he beat me pretty handily. So good job for him, and I hope I didn't miss anybody, and I will see Josh for everything he does, and all of our sponsors, and I will see everybody next week.
All right, my man. Well, let's hope. I'm just going to throw this out there, man. Let's not, take out the frustration of the fantasy football on the Monday night, guys. I'm just saying. No, I'm just kidding. I know you wouldn't, but heck of a job. A hell of a run here tonight. A way to start off your championship run here in season number 20. see if you can get the job done, and we'll see how you go if you get to Miami. Until then, my man, stay safe, and of course, keep it fast.
Sure. Thanks, Dave. See you, man.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from Victory Lane from James Skelton. Once again, picks up just his second victory of the season, but it comes at one of the most perfect times of the season. He will now not have to worry about Darlington. He can have a disastrous night and still roll into round number 2 of the championship chase. And that's going to be the biggest sigh of relief for any driver out there, to know that the next week in these very short, quick, rapid fire season, championship ending season races, that you have the opportunity to have a mishap and it not really destroy your championship chances. Well, with producers hitting those familiar sounds in the background, you know what that means. You know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results right here from Iowa Speedway in the Spin Cycle 100. Brought to you by Checkered Flag Auto Supply and Red Light Racing's Monday Night Scrambler Series. Walking away with the race win, Checkered Flag in hand, back in victory lane once again. James Skelton tops the charts. Max Terriot going to come home in second, with Justin Gann finishing out the podium positions. 18 of Trent Potter comes in fourth, with Adam Matz, Mr. Consistency. He's going to pick up his 9th top 5 of the season. The 4 of Jeffrey Souza will slide home in 6th, with Zach Mitchell right behind him in 7th. Defending series champion Chris Hammett, your pole sitter here tonight, walks away 8th. John McMillan Jr. coming home in 9th, with Tim Combs back in 10th. Logan Fiedler, your championship hopeful rookie this year, finishes in 11th. He's going to have an uphill battle next week at Darlington. Bill Benedict comes home 12th, with Ethan Troutman in 13th. Luke Allen back in 14th. Sean Single going to finish out your top 15. The number 3 co-sponsored machine of Tony Strano going to pick up 16th here tonight. 17th belongs to Rob Higgins. Championship hopeful Joshua Buckley behind the wheel of that Sweet Tarts number 13 machine. A little bit of a mishap, and Buckley finishes in 18th. Bob Higgins in 19th, with Brandon Feeney finishing out your top 20. Ryan Aldani, Eric Stout, and Ken Allen round out your 23 car field here tonight from Iowa Speedway. That's going to do it for us. We're going to get ready to cut off the lights, roll up the cords, and head to Darlington Raceway. Beautiful crown jewel of the South right there in Darlington, South Carolina. Just a stone's throw away from the Southeast headquarters. Can't wait to be back near the hometown, but that's going to do it for us. So if you haven't already, remember to join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Show these drivers some love. Be sure to drop a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself or anyone else back at the shop. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Stay safe, stay loved, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.